Fuck's sake!
Hello and welcome to the Titleless podcast. This is episode 1, our origin story. I am Daniel, joined today with both James and Liam.
Hello.
Hiya.
And our special guest of Aidan.
Hello, how you doing?
Right, there we go. Hopefully that will picked up.
Hope so.
Right, so
I got that.
here we are. This is our origin story. The point of the podcast where if we ever get a reboot storyline, we come back to. This is where we get bitten by radioactive spiders and gain superpowers.
So that one gamma rays.
This,
Unless we decide it's not canon.
yeah. You know, podcast parents murdered in an alley. We become nighttime vigilantes.
My parents are dead!
Exactly. I'm stunned for a second there. Right, so I figured since we're starting off, we'll go around the three of us that are here, because we should have another 3 members of this core podcast group who couldn't make it for various reasons tonight. Right.
Well, they don't get a day 1 edition.
Exactly. They're not getting their special achievements either.
No, they're not getting year 1. They can, or year 0, whichever comes first. I'm not a big comic guy.
All of them. This is the new 52 right here.
I know that's DC. I know that.
Hey.
See, I'm clever.
Right. So, myself talking. Daniel, a student / part-time supermarket worker in Glasgow. That's pretty much the main parts.
What do you bring to this podcast?
What do I bring?
What is your area of expertise?
Porn.
Order, chaos, and just pointless bits of noise that make no real use in general life. That's what we'll go for.
That works for me.
Right, yourself then?
I am James. I am materialista 27. I'm a bookie.
Ooh.
And to this podcast I will be bringing ethnic slurs and various, general profanities and smart ass shit.
All places do need something a bit like that.
They do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Liam. I'm actually English. I'm not Scottish, so hence why this is not a Scottish podcast. And what do I bring?
Diversity.
My area of expertise. Diversity.
Token
yes.
Englishman.
Meaningless movie trivia knowledge. And just general.
I suppose it will come in
crap,
good if we ever do
basically.
a movie special. Don't know. Special editions?
Well,
Spoiler cast.
Hey,
yeah, spoiler cast.
never know when we get into that.
Not a bad idea.
And
Well, the difficulty we're having recording a podcast means a spoiler cast may be a bit difficult. We'll save that for episode 100.
aye, when we hit the milestones.
The story so far.
Shall we have our
Milestone
guest have a wee introduction to himself as well?
Yes, tonight, in addition to our regular crew, we have a special guest, one of the organisers of last weekend,
A week and a half.
like a week and a half ago's event, RVB Scotland, and that is our Aidan.
Hello, guys, how you doing? I'm trying to think. What, student, and also work as, I believe, the same store as Dan.
Yes.
It was Morrison's.
Well, same company. If you actually worked at my store, it would be a lot different. Being charged and tell you to do things.
There's nothing wrong with Morrison's because my mum works at Morrison's and I get a discount
Just,
because of her little card. I
does
love
nearly
it.
everyone, James, you need to go get yourself to Morrison's. Just get yourself hired.
Well, there is one across from my current work.
Just to add to this.
Just to say, you go there, James, don't
Aye.
you? So
Yeah.
I assume. I may be wrong. I might be talking on my ass.
I'll leave that vagueness because I'll call back to. We did mention we've got our regular crew. There are 3 of us here just now. The other 3 that should be here, we've got Sean and Emma, who have both pulled out right before we were about to start recording. And
Because they're useless.
fair enough. And I don't think we should maybe insult the person who might edit this.
I don't think they're useless. Shaw might be useless, but I think Emma just had a bad computer.
Well, in that case, I'll edit this episode.
Ah, fair enough. And then we've also got Michael.
Michael!
Who is... Yes, exactly. Unfortunately, he has to work
Boo.
and couldn't join us tonight. But we'll be sure to.
Can we
force him
confirm
to appear
if
soon
he
enough?
works in Morrison's or not?
I honestly have no idea.
I don't even know where he lives. I know he said he lives on a little island somewhere. I've got no idea where the hell that's at.
I could call that up just now, but my laptop might implode with the amount of stuff I'd have
I know,
simultaneously.
I'm
open.
avoiding clicking anything, Dan, you know why, because if I click anything, my computer will overheat and it will turn off. So,
And that would prove quite counterproductive to the whole aspect of
exactly, so I'm
podcast.
avoiding that. I'm avoiding charging it up, so I'm letting the battery drain. Because that
Oh, sweet
heat...
Jesus. We're on time
No,
limit.
not really, it's still got plenty... I mean, what happens was, if it gets low enough, then I can charge it up again. But if I have it, like, on charge while it's pretty much charged up, that overheats it. But so I'm avoiding. I'm letting the battery drain first before I.
So we're getting some quality insight into your laptop
it's
right there.
shit. That's the gist of it. It's shite.
I can confirm that Michael is listed as from the Isle of Mull.
Oh, Mull. Literally an island in the middle of...
The rest of the UK,
nowhere,
they may
bit of water.
be more familiar with it as the island that holds Tobermory or Ballymorey. So I don't know whether he lives in the big pink castle.
Yep.
Or, you know,
Lavender.
I don't know. Yeah.
I want to say, I didn't even know that.
Don't ask me. I've never heard. I assume that's one of the silly islands at the top of Scotland. I don't know. That's Scottish shite. That I don't know nothing about
Scottish geography, yes.
Yes. Anyway, I think I'll also put a wee shout out to Gary, also the runner of retroblogger.co.uk, for that wee intro clip that we had. Sent us out for the foreseeable future, I believe.
As I said to him at the time, we'll use that until we find something better. Whether that be he comes up with something better or someone else, that's up to him. But I think we'll be using that for a while because I don't think we'll find much better.
Yeah, Iggy ended up being out with Jeff Williams.
Would you just have words get a special
Well, our
song
listeners
made
are
up?
more than welcome to submit user intros.
Intro
Yes,
themes.
That's fine. We'll put an email address in the link dump.
Ah, yes, because you're going to work on a link dump for all the various topics.
It is not safe for work.
I don't know. I wasn't anticipating that to suddenly come up there already.
Neither will
I think
this
we're
podcast.
setting the tone still.
Yeah.
Early.
Headphones or listen to it at home.
Not suitable for work unless you work at some... Don't know, what sort of workplace would be suitable then, do you reckon?
Morrison's.
No. Unfortunately. I don't think they'd be too happy with me listening to a podcast of myself.
Any rural employment or
Anywhere where there's no one else looking at
forestry,
you or listening to you.
fishing, lumberjacking. Yeah.
So basically anything that's
I
not a
don't know.
British
Sheep herding.
employment.
Yeah, I was going to say, are there many lumberjacks around Scotland or England?
Probably, yeah. We've got a lot of
We
trees.
get lots of farming up my end, so I suppose that you could listen to it there.
Give me a second. I'm actually going to search this one up.
Any frackers involved?
Something you can listen
Oh,
to
here.
while you're dogging.
Fracking. Someone at my university is actually doing his dissertation around fracking. So I'm going to sort of defend that one a wee bit. Right up to the Highlands.
What a fracking asshole.
God damn it, boy!
Oh, no.
Well, it was going to be
Get
said.
when you need him.
It was going to be said an hour earlier.
For some reason, I've been linked to the group of 3 Canadian comedians who call themselves the Lumberjacks and tour the UK. Nothing about actual lumberjacking.
Well,
And-
that could be a guest in the future.
It's a good name for a band. The Lumberjacks.
They're good comedians. Because I've actually met one of them before.
Well, in that
That's-
case, if you want to wrangle them and get them on, if they could maybe, turn up to a Skype call with a working computer and
And a
That'd be great.
microphone. That'd be
that'd be ideal.
right. Anyway, so I think now we've got some of the side things off there. We're about 10 minutes in, so I think we'll talk a wee bit about how we actually came to be. I reckon that sounds like a
Well,
bit
it's
of a
quite
shout.
simple. We all.
Well, Mama and Papa materialist. I met one night.
Mine don't know. Mine won't tell me.
Not that way.
Not that early. All right, fair enough.
No. So I think we are all fans of Rooster Teeth and the relevant products that they put out. So we're all members of their actual website, and quite well. I was going to say we're quite involved. We're nowhere near involved in the community that much, are we?
No. Not a chance.
No. We just all happened to see an event for a meetup in Scotland and went.
There is a chance if anyone that I am friends with on the site or watch on the site, if they post a link or a journal entry, I will comment on it.
Yeah.
But apart from that, that's as active as I get.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
the
I'm
community.
pretty much the same. I'll comment on friends' journals and images and things like that, and I've got my own little group that always pisses about on the junk gaming section. We generally hang out on there, but other than that, I'm not really in the community that much. I used to be part of like the introductions threads. I used to welcome on all the new guys, but then that was too much hard work, so I gave up on that.
Well, I was going to say we better hope that this doesn't become too much hard work then.
No.
We need to find someone else of a different nationality to fill that void.
You're stuck with me. You're stuck with me now.
Hey. I was going to say, I suppose that's acceptable.
Yeah. Well, we should probably say that, shouldn't we?
Well,
when we all went to this event up in Scotland, there was only 2 English people. There was me and Erkin, I want to say, that were English, and everyone else was from your neck of the woods.
Well, you say our neck of the woods. There were some far-flung places of Scotland that were getting represented.
Yeah.
We should also point out for future podcasts that Sean is Scottish.
But he doesn't sound it.
No.
Correct me again, I might be talking out my ass. He's originally from England, Newcastle, I want to say, and then he moved to Scotland and he's been there 10 years, but he hasn't lost his accent.
We'll ask him that in his origin story.
He can delve into that aspect of it all. Right then, so I think, well, we've just mentioned there we're fans of Rooster Teeth. How did we each get into it, do you reckon? We'll go into that topic a wee bit. How we got into the company and their product, how we get introduced to it.
Well, mine's quite creepy actually, because I think it was about a year ago, 2 years ago. I had bought Soul Calibur 4.
It's a cracking game.
I was playing on that, and I don't know. I wasn't particularly looking for achievements or trophies or anything like that, but I was looking for videos on them on YouTube. And
all right,
I just scanning through the results of the search, and I come across this one, Pajama Achievements, which
literally came across it.
I'm seeing Pajama Achievements, Soul Calibur 4, and there's about 4 fit girls in the thumbnail in the pajamas. So I think I was about 19 at the time. So am I not gonna click that? So I click.
You make it sound as if you wouldn't click it now.
Seems
I'd still click it now. I actually re-watched them before we went to Glasgow a couple of weeks ago, just in case this topic of conversation came up.
You're prepared.
And I sat and watched it, and I thought that was brilliant. I want to see what else these lot do. So I clicked on the poster, and it was Rooster Teeth, and I just went through it because he's obviously before the Let's Play channel and things like that. So I just started going through all the videos, and I thought these look really good. So I basically watched all the videos, all the achievement, well, much of the achievement hunter videos as I could, and then I thought, well, I'll try some of the other stuff like Red vs Blue and things like that. And I remember the first Red vs Blue episode I watched was, I think it was season 9 or 8. It was a freelancer episode anyway, so it was full CGI. I think there was no like blood gulch or anything like that before. So
yeah,
so I thought
that is.
That was great. These lot are making this. So I went through Red vs Blue from the beginning, and then I thought, right, I'll try and get involved with the website, and I signed up. Maybe about June. I think I signed up in, so 6 months nearly.
I was going to say I could check this, but I don't really want to
Yeah.
just now.
Yeah, I think it was June I signed up, and I just went from there really. Yeah,
Let's see, five months
5
ago.
months ago.
Yep,
Yep,
that would.
I was close. And that's basically how I got involved. Pajama Achievements. Kind of creepy.
Cool. Right, well, for myself, I sort of was aware of Red vs Blue, but just hadn't watched it at all. I just knew it was a thing that existed. And then it was a party I held I want to say about 2 years ago now, one of my friends decided he had to show me one of the animated adventures, because it was the RTA where they were talking about the dolphins, trying to teach dolphins how to speak, and it was like the women had to drop acid with dolphins and stuff, trying to get them to talk. Now, I was just bewildered. I was like, what sort of story is this? Who are these people talking about this story? And do they talk about more similar bizarre things? It sort of led me to find the podcast / then from the related videos, I think. Because I think it was one of the video podcasts on YouTube that I started off of. Couldn't tell you a specific one. I'm just completely guessing that. But then I saw related videos, ended up watching some of the gameplay stuff. And it sort of kept escalating from there to the point where I have to routinely check for when a new upload comes so I can watch it.
Sorry, I'm setting up the podcast email address. Done.
Good. We've got an email address, cool.
Yeah, we're legit now.
That's official.
The first Rooster Teeth video I watched was Jeff and Gavin's 3-star guide to Angry Birds Space. I'm glad to say I do have 3 stars in all the first world of that game. But from there, pretty much similar story. You look at the channel, fire through all the videos, watch the shorts, watch the achievement, the animated adventures. Thought they were cracking, and just watch like all their content as soon as it's available. Signed up on the website, something like probably about this time last year, something like that, and started getting a bit more active a couple of months ago, and found you guys.
Oh yeah, found us at the event.
That was a fucker of a mistake.
Yeah, you're going to regret that for the rest of your life now.
Pretty much.
Right, we'll go on to talk about the event in a second. We're just going to have our first fake advert.
Don't tell them it's fake.
Do you want to go? No.
It's real. These are real
quick,
products, people. Don't listen to Daniel. He's been drinking.
Sorry about that.
These are available now. Looking to put a jump back in your love life? Try Bustin' Up condoms. Customers can't get enough of its authentic taste. It tastes like real peanuts, says Tina from Essex. I wish everything in my life tasted so good, says John from Edinburgh. So if you're looking for something special for a loved one, or just something to keep the kids entertained, grab a packet of Bustin' Nuts today. Warning, do not use as contraception. Do not ingest if allergic to nuts.
Right, so we'll talk about the event where we all sort of combined, which was RVB Scotland, which was the meetup for Scottish people from the Rooster Teeth website. Get set up by Elsa and our rather silent guest.
It wasn't just Scottish, thank you very much.
It was set up in Scotland.
It was set up in Scotland, but not for Scottish people.
It mainly was. You happened to show up.
Some refugees turned up.
Yeah, I just showed up for the lassies of all 2 of them.
That just doesn't put yourself in a good light there, does it?
Well, no, there was 3 of them. There was 3 female attendees. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, there was Emma, Elsa, and that underage one. I didn't
summed up.
So I couldn't say I knew it.
How old are you? Oh, 14. No, sorry, I'm not interested.
Too young.
Emma, how are you doing? Yeah.
That's pretty much what you done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, so pretty much when we met on a Saturday, it was actually morning. Met in the Geek Retreat in Glasgow.
That's where the sofas were, where the podcast started.
It's a fine establishment. Yeah,
exactly. We just all happened to simultaneously sit in some sofas and realised it looked like a podcast, so it became Team Podcast. It's a fantastic origin of how we came to be created.
Giving away
as a podcast.
I mean, what really made it fantastic was just how easy it was to talk to someone. I mean, I know that we were all sitting there, and again, probably talking out my ass. We were sitting there. I remember James, you came over a little bit after we had sat down, and straight away you were talking away with us. It wasn't like you sat there in silence and.
Yeah,
but that's because I have balls the size of watermelons.
He's not like
not fazed by these social situations. Yeah.
That was, by the way, it's just so spacious.
So spacious. That bog was so spacious.
Yeah. Most spacious I have ever seen.
Exactly. You can't get any more spacious.
Really was. I mean, why
Right.
did it have a chalkboard in there? I mean, we
I
were
really
you
don't
supposed
know.
to sign something once you'd had a shit? You're supposed to go in and say, I, Liam Rollo, have took a shit. Smell it, you cunt.
But they never gave you any chalk. They just had a chalkboard wall in this
know.
toilet.
It was like to leave a review. It's like, yeah, 8 out of 10 shit. Could have wiped better. Very spacious.
The bog itself was very spacious, but the dump wasn't solid, so 7 out of 10.
Right, I've realised we are now just sitting discussing how spacious this toilet was, which, to be fair, was exactly what we done at the event. So I suppose that's a accurate recap of how that portion went.
Well, that's
Pretty much.
That was the first 3 hours. How big that bog was.
Yeah, you're right there. He is not lying.
And then
I had the misfortune of following Sean in it. That was
Just wait until Sean's actually here.
my
You'll have
eyes
to
were burning.
retaliate to all this.
we can edit it. We can edit
This
it
is-
out.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a guy who I witnessed slap someone in the face with a hot
I
dog.
know that. I saw that. That was.
Yeah.
Oh. That poo. That
Shout out to Tam
that
for
poo
that.
lad looked about 12, and Sean comes over with a fucking
He did look a wee bit lost.
with a fucking hot dog in his hand. Are you not gonna eat it? Bang.
Oh, right, because that's what happened. It was this one of the young guys that showed up. He just bought a hot dog, just didn't eat it, left it sitting there for a while, so get slapped across the face.
I
with it.
mean, like I said, the kid looked about 12. He was probably petrified of everyone for some reason and just didn't feel like eating. Because, I mean, I know for a fact, I mean, when I was a kid and I used to get nervous, you used to lose, well, I mean, we still do, whenever you get nervous, you lose your appetite, don't you? In a sense, so you won't eat anything. I just think that's what happened. And he ordered his hot dog thinking everyone else was eating. He noticed no one else was eating. He was like, oh, shit.
I suppose. Although, to be fair, it doesn't match. See, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but at one point, Elsa decided to try and try and get round everyone, get them all sort of merging together a bit. When she went over, the young folk looked petrified.
Ah, a real girl! Ah!
Yeah, it was, oh my god, it's a girl. What do we do? How do we react to this?
They've probably never seen a girl like that in their lives. Who things. But,
Pretty
no,
much.
but as I say, I just think it was nerves for them, and that's all it was. I mean, you know, I noticed when we started, well, not so much later on, but when we were in Geek Retreat,
Yeah.
before we split into our teams, it seemed to be clicky to start with. I mean, you had us all of us lot sitting on the sofas, and then you had a big group around one table, and another group around another table, and then another group around another table, and then there was the young ones standing in the background. So,
With their hot
Yeah.
dogs and their
I mean,
fear.
I suppose they were trying to stay with, which I say, oh, you're my friend on the site, so I'll stand with you.
Yeah, it does make
It
sense.
does make sense like that. I mean,
So-
whereas, like say with the podcast crew, I mean, before that night, I don't think anyone there was my friend other than Emma and Elsa. I think they were only two.
So the two females.
Oh aye.
God's sake, Liam.
No, I think. Hang on. No, maybe it was just them
Right.
two, or maybe there was others. I don't know, but they're the two that stick out in mind. Because I mean, I've got 90 plus friends on there, and I speak to about 30 of them.
See, I'm up at, right, I was going to say, I'm not going to start comparing that. Just going off that, I think. Well, I had one of my best friends from back home. He came up because he was the guy that introduced me to all the risky stuff. He came up for the event, but he was also late, so I was going by myself.
Well, he
from the
joined our
start.
group, didn't he? Sean.
Yes, he does. Right, we'll move into that because after we left the Geek Retreat, we got split into two teams, and we do in fact we were all in the same team with our leader who has joined us.
The best leader.
Yes, naturally, there were two teams, and we had the best of the two teams. We're the ones with the podcast, damn it.
It's true. That's the key to
Yes.
success. Measure of success, even.
It is actually. Right, after we'd split into our teams, we went to Walkabout first. Well, sorry, the team went to Walkabout. Myself and Liam were there for a very brief period of time before I had to escort him to where his Premier Inn was that he was staying in,
I mean,
because Glasgow's so far
fair
away.
enough. You did that out of the goodness of your heart, and I thank you for that, Daniel. Because I
Yes.
needed to
So-
know where I was going, because I didn't want to be lugging this stupid fucking bag around with me all night. So we found the way to the hotel. I checked in, and I spent about 20 minutes in the lift.
I want to say that because he got in the lift to go to whatever floor his room was on, and then I watched the numbers go up, came back down to 0, doors opened, and there he was, still standing there, still holding his bag, looking thoroughly confused as to why he ended up back in the ground floor. So I was sort of like, that's a bit weird, go up again. He sort of kept yo-yoing around every floor apart from the one you had to get off on.
I was on floor 3, and I clicked to floor 3, went up, and it started on floor 5, then back down to ground, then to floor 6, then back down to ground, then floor 2, and then back down to ground, then floor 5 again, then back down to ground. So I said, fuck this, and I went and took the stairs, and then...
Finally, it took you enough time.
So eventually, I got my bag inside. I didn't even look at my bed, look at my room, or anything like that. I just literally opened the door, threw my bag in, and then come back out. And then we went back to walkabout. And when I went back to the hotel, I literally put in a complaint at 10:59.
Wait, you seriously put in a complaint?
I literally got into the hotel minutes before the doors shut, and I went before the receptionist went, and I said, "Listen, that elevator's knackered. You need to get something sorted." And sure enough, when I woke up the next morning, I went down for my breakfast. Didn't use the elevator. Went down for breakfast.
Good idea.
Went downstairs, had my breakfast. Come out, and I saw on the elevator downstairs an out of order sign.
So you caused the shutdown of a lift. You were in Glasgow for 1 day. You caused hotel lift shutdown.
Fucking hooligan.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because I wasn't wearing my football shirt.
Well, to be fair, like you said, we went back to Walkabout. We didn't. We were on the way and ran into the rest of the team walking along the street, going up Sucky Hole Street to our next location. They did look a bit confused as to why we'd suddenly vanished.
Yeah.
Kinda. I'll be honest. For large portions of that, we had forgotten that you were there. Or supposed to be there.
You're very kind.
Well, we've got to say, I mean, at that point, it was still a large group, so you don't really pay attention to who's there at certain points.
Aye.
Well, we spent the majority of that hour in Walkabout. Had a quick game of Sook the Malteser with a straw.
Did you actually play it? I just thought someone was taking the piss when they said you played it.
No. All the games get legitimately played. We're talking to the winner of all these games.
Sorry, I'm talking shit. I was off my head on alcohol at the time.
Well, Sean picked up the first game, but the majority of that time it was a quick game, and then eat the Maltesers, and then we played pool for the rest of it.
Sounds quite good, actually.
If you'd seen some of the guys playing pool, yeah, it was really good.
Oh well, right. Because we went along to campus where we decided just to everyone was going to order some form of lunch. We just ended up with all these baskets of chips. I don't know what happened. Did everyone just panic and go, "I want chips"?
We did, James, we bought what was it? We bought a big platter of pizza.
Yeah, we bought 3 pizzas between 4.
It was one.
Even before the night.
It was like, well, we didn't. At the time, I didn't know that we were supposed to be having pizza at night. I didn't know what we were eating. We weren't told until we'd actually ordered the pizza, and then someone come over and says, we're getting pizza tonight. I said, well, no one fuck me tell me that before I ordered the cunt.
Like, when we looked at the menu, I did say that 5 cheeseburgers looked good.
I said that as well. I mean, who was supposed to be sharing? It was me, you, Sean, and Emma. We said, and Edgar. I think Edgar popped about at some point. And then...
Oh, yes.
We said...
Ian/Edgar.
We'll get it.
No, he's lost Ian. He's Edgar now.
No.
Oh, yes. He has... Was it Sean that anointed him Edgar?
It was Sean,
yep.
Geek Retreat.
I thought so.
He took the thing and Edgar. And
the name tags.
Edgar on the back, and he didn't notice till I think it was about 9 o'clock. It must be about 9 or 10 o'clock. He says, "Who the fuck put this on me?"
This guy, is that your attempt at the Scottish accent?
No,
there
was no attempt.
That's his attempt at Edgar.
You don't want to hear my attempt at Scottish. I'm not even going to try it.
Well, now that you've said it,
we'll save that for the milestone episode.
The time you try and...
This is a milestone episode. 1 is a milestone.
Count. Maybe.
This is the first weekly podcast.
100. I think.
You're ambitious there.
I think I told you.
I'd go
I
10.
think I told you on the night that when I tried the Scottish accent, it turned Irish, and it turned Irish, turns into Scottish, and then it just becomes one big stupid jumble of Cumbrian.
Well, I saw you did. Right, anyway, because our team were walking up and down Stocky Hall Street, going between the different venues that we had booked, had a tendency just to be making a bit of a noise, being a slight rabble, I'd say.
You should have seen some of the looks we were getting when we were going past. Like, I mean, remember when it was coming to about 4:20?
Oh, yeah.
Please.
And I had the clock out. I was just saying, it's 4:17, 4:18.
Yeah, we just look like this mental group who are keeping track of every
I felt
minute.
sorry for you, Dan, because you were out there, you and Aidan in front leading us about. People must have thought.
Yeah. 'Cause no one knew where they were going.
People
Had to
must have
tell
thought,
them.
is it the special kids' day out?
It was. Well, if that didn't pick up there, I'll just reiterate what Aidan said. That he knew what the names of the venues were, but had no idea where he was actually going. So, really, we were lucky I was in the team. Or else they'd have had to rely on Google Maps.
I think you think I knew where I was going.
Wait, do you say you did know?
Yeah.
Why didn't you direct them then?
I did.
He did.
Could have been
he did. I will
a
say he
greater
did
force.
at some point. I can't remember what it was.
I was slightly more interested in blazing.
Ah, well, there you go. Yeah, because we went... At one point, we found ourselves in Rufus T's, where we played a quiz. So some of the answers to that quiz
No, it was.
were not taken too serious.
The best part of that quiz was, I don't know his name. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. It was behind me. He was behind me and Sean, and I was the one who got his answers. And he never answered a single question truthfully. Everything was just a piss take. And
Oh, was this the guy that got abandoned?
No,
on
he
the
didn't. He didn't get
because he just fell asleep.
He didn't get abandoned. I remember because when we come out of there, we were because I was one of the last off the back sofa. I comes coming past. I says, "Are you coming?" He says, "Nah, I'm stopping here." So
Yeah, I just told him to stay there.
He didn't bother, so he just sat there on that sofa, and I knew he wasn't coming. So then obviously come back when we got to Revolution later. And saw him, but he just decided not to come with us.
Just been reminded of my favourite quote of the full event, which was when you were trying to explain to Edgar where it was you came from, and he just couldn't make Liam out at all. So just turned around and said, "I'm not racist. I just have no idea what it is you're saying." That was it.
I actually posted that on his user comments when I got home.
You're not a racist.
No,
For confirmation, Liam, where exactly are you from?
Cumbria.
Right.
Yeah, see, that was Cumbria.
That's not exact, but fair, that'll do.
It's understandable. You can hear Cumbria and say, "Oh, I know a rough idea where that is."
Well, if you want it exact, I'm from a little place called Frizzington. That's me saying it very clearly. The way I say it's very Cumbrian, Frizzington, like that. So I generally just say Whitehaven.
Shitehaven.
Yeah, Shitehaven, because that's the closest like big. Well, it's not big, but you know what I mean. It's like the closest major town.
Recognisable place.
Yeah, it's the closest major town, and plus when you say Whitehaven, everyone knows where that's at because of certain events.
Shite?
Well, the Shitehaven and that, and some serious shit that happened a couple of years back. Don't want to get into that. So
yeah, right. We'll move on from this.
So you say that, and people know where I'm from, or you say somewhere like Sellafield, which is the nuclear plant. You know where that's at. So I'm that area from the west of Cumbria.
I'll put it in the link dump.
Yes.
The link gump.
Yeah.
Link gump.
Link dump.
Link gump.
Right then.
Podcast is like a box of chocolates.
Was that your attempt at
You really don't know.
accent, James?
That was Forrest Gump, yeah.
That was a
Forrest
Forrest Gump
Gump.
quote he was hitting out with. Thought you knew your movie
Bobo.
trivia.
Funnily enough, that's one of the films I've never seen. Forrest Gump.
They shot me in the buttocks.
I mean, I know there's quotes from it like "Run, Forrest, run," but other than that, that's one film I've never seen. I mean, let me correct something. Movie trivia. I mean, like crappy movie trivia, like Batman and fucking Superman and all them sorts.
Those aren't bad films. Bad films are like a Sharknado.
No, I couldn't know that.
Although no, Sharknado's
No,
brilliant.
Fine. Well, I'll say most major movies. Then I'll say something like The Godfather. I can quote that, no problem. Things like that.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, yeah, I know that.
Well done.
I knew it was you. Fredo.
I know it was you, Fredo. Can't.
Right. We're just getting into quotes here.
Pretty much.
Right, pretty much. Is there anything else that really happened at the event that I've missed out on? 'Cause, well, we went to Revolution.
No, we went to Revolution, and then
Aidan had bought everyone pizza essentially.
yeah. Once we got into Revolution, we had our pizza. We did our Awu attempt. That didn't go well.
What? Well, I was about to say it might have did, but then again, I almost got hit by a car. So I had to go out into the road to film everyone.
Well, funnily enough, when because Elsa put the pictures up on the website of
Yes.
the Awu attempts.
No, she's got a full album.
And I know somehow I ended up at the back, and now I'm relatively tall, but I'm not that tall. I could see the top half of my head from my glasses up. I couldn't see. You couldn't see, so you couldn't see my face. And even then, my face was blurry in the first picture, and then in the second picture, I'm jumping up, so you can try and see me. Because I'm jumping, the motion's blurred my face. And I look through all of her album. There is not a decent picture of me. There's a picture of me doing that. Picture of me, James, and Emma. I'm doing that, like I'm pretending to pick my nose. There's one where there's me, Sean, Michael, and
Is it me by any chance?
I think it might be you, Dan.
Probably, yeah.
And Aiden's in the background, sort of giving everyone like, what the fuck are these knobheads doing?
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. I know the picture you're talking about because Aidan looks like he's possessed. Like, his
does,
eyes are just pure white.
It's looking at you like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm gonna fucking have you. And I've got everyone's doing a stupid face, and I've got my leg around Michael, like we're fucking tangoing.
There are a few strange photos from that day, and I'll put Elsa's page on the link dump, and you can look through them. It's there are some poses.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say there's one of Sean as the diddler for the WWE 2K14 Let's Play. Yeah,
dude, it's always time to diddle.
Yeah, the thing that I picked up on was you can see sort of my body in the background. I'm just standing like I'm his bodyguard or something. You do?
I noticed that. That was in the comments, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'd just like to say that was a fine picture, and it was really well taken. I thought it was an expert that must have captured that moment in life.
I see. It must have been a cracking photographer that got in there. You seem to say if you know who it might have been.
No, I think it's shit.
Well,
right.
Yeah, that's true.
Received a message as well. One we've been talking about that. Aidan, who's not happy with the way he's sounding, so he's sort of sending us things through the text. We also got a video sent to us for the RVB Scotland gathering from Kathleen of Rooster Teeth.
We did, yeah. That was quite cool. I wasn't expecting anything like that. When Elsa said that she had a video from someone from Rooster Teeth, my mind was trying to think who would actually send something.
Was everyone not just
I was thinking
big moment.
I was thinking who's would usually does something like this. So my first thought was, well, Barbara's head of the community, but no, I don't know. I don't think that.
Were you thinking with your brain, or were you thinking with something else?
Both. That's where my
Fair
brain
enough.
is. And then I was thinking, I actually thought Kathleen. I thought it might be Kathleen because I know that.
Just think about everyone.
Just think about every woman that works at Rooster Teeth.
Pretty much.
At all times. I'd say I think I've learned that. That's all you do. You just sit and think of various females.
Well, there's that, and there's also the part where I'm a struggling writer and I try and think of stories and all that shit. But anyway, no, I actually thought of Kathleen because I remembered something that Elsa had said. She said that she was quite friendly with her, so I thought, well, hang on, it might be Kathleen, and sure enough, it was. So I thought, hey, Liam got something right.
Yes.
But no, that was quite a good. I wasn't expecting that though. That was a great message to have. I think.
Right. I think pretty much after that point, I had to leave. I had to come back to my flat because I had a ridiculous amount of work I had to do for university that I'd been pushing off for the full day because I was out.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, after you had gone, James, you can probably back me up. That's when everyone started to to go.
Well, I was going to say that's when everyone started to have fun, but yeah, that was kind of the signal to break
it
up.
was a bit. Everyone had fun, and then everyone started to go. I mean, first, there was a lot of people from one side of the room started flooding. I guess they'd all come in a group, and then the other people went, and then James, you went as well.
Yeah.
And I decided to go slightly earlier than I wanted to, but I thought, well, I don't want to. I need to find my way to my hotel, basically.
Well, you could still remember.
Yeah, basically, I didn't want to say, right, I'm not gonna drink a lot because I know I need to find my way back to my hotel. I need to have my senses about me. So I left about, I think it was about 11 o'clock.
All in all, it was a fine event.
Oh, it was a brilliant event.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
And if you've been seeing today, there's the possibility of another one in the upcoming future.
I did, yeah.
You mean there is going to be one?
Looks like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the basic premise was because Elsa put out a journal and a post in the RT
In
Scotland
the group, yeah.
Yeah. She wanted us to do a survey, basically saying where would you want this next one to be held.
Answer is not my flat, by the way. I don't have enough room for everyone.
Where do you want it to be held? When do you want it to be held? Is there anything that you would like to do? That sort of thing. I think it was only about 5 questions.
Something like that, yeah.
Wait, now that I've just saw the text again to Skype, I'm going to call Aidan out on this. Aidan, despite being our team leader, was hungover a ridiculous level from his night before.
Yes, he was.
He was meant to be our leader, and he was just hungover.
Well, we found that when we went to Yates's for our post-it game. Aidan just kind of sat there and was like, I have no idea who I am. And I looked at him and said, the post-it? And he's like, no, I really have no idea who I am.
I've just been asked to add the fact that he was hungover from playing Cards Against Humanity on TeamSpeak.
That fucking post-it game, like, that was... We had some good ones, Dan, didn't we, on our side?
Yeah, because we ended up...
You're welcome.
We found...
Yeah, James read them, yeah.
We wanted some more obscure, difficult things to work out what we're meant to be.
We had some hard ones, like, I mean...
Right, give me a second, I think I've still got some from that journal.
Yeah. I remember some off the top of my head. I remember there was one that Emma had was the swing set glitch.
Oh yeah,
from
GTA 4.
Yeah.
We had the premise of the Achievement Hunter show Go.
You had Go, yeah.
Oh, that was difficult.
Michael and Dan.
Oh yeah.
That one.
Hashtag Dan the man. He was missing out the hashtag.
I was fuming by the end of that round.
It was funny.
I remember that clearly. I was looking at it, like fist clenched. I was like, "Fuck's sake, Michael! It's not that. You've got it right before. Just say it." And I was like, "It's fucking hashtag."
It was how it ended up because he kept trying to. He had everything that he needed.
Well, also, while I jumped in at the end of that to kind of see how you guys were doing, and he was the only one that still had to get it. He was shouting out like various things because we'd said it was in Minecraft and Achievement City, and one of the things he suggested was Gavin's creeper parents.
Oh, someone had that as well.
And as a result, in the very next round, I put that on his forehead.
Well, I was going to say, I think he only got that one because he'd literally had recently said it.
Yeah. I remember at one point I had Yang, but I was getting mixed information
because we didn't agree
Dan
with what
Shaw.
each other were saying.
I asked. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I'm not a person, and I'm not an object. I'm not and all this. What the fuck am I? I said, I give up. When I give up, it was Yang. I says, well, I asked if I was real. I asked if I was a girl. I asked if I was in Ruby, and I got none of these answers back. I was mad, like. And there was one.
Oh yeah, so you did.
Rebel, the dog.
Yep.
That one didn't take me that long, actually. I think I got to a point where I said Joe the cat, and someone said, but you're in the same vein. I knew. All right, well, what's that dog called? Oh, it's Rebel.
Right, well,
right.
I'll
have that.
Shall we insert? Should we have a second advert in here?
Do you have a pesky Geococcus californianus? Would you like to take the hassle out of trapping, killing and eating the bane of your life? Well, now you can. call the Acme Corporation to order the latest advances in technology. Dehydrated boulders, jet-propelled unicycles, artificial rocks, and much, much more. Join our Buyers Club today. Call 1-800-DEFECT. That's 1-800-DEFECT. Call now, and it can be yours.
And we're back to close up the first edition of the podcast. So, yes.
Yeah.
Think just talk,
Pretty much.
So, since the event, has anyone just seen some utterly bizarre things that they might want to share? Can anyone think of anything off the top of their head that's just completely pointless or stupid?
I mean, I don't know if it was pointless or stupid, but it was quite. I thought it was quite interesting that Sean had actually, while everyone else was writing like sentimental journals when they got back, and they were all saying, "Oh well, shout out to Aidan and also for organising the whole event, blah blah blah," which fair play to them, was great of them. Well, Sean just says, "I'm not doing anything emotional. I'm just going to list all the funny shit that everyone had done," and he literally did list every single thing.
Because I've been using that journal for our recap.
as a recap, and there was one where when he come up to me and he says, "Shout out to Liam for his rendition of fuck's sake." I says, "Why? I just say it generally, fuck's sake. What's so special about that?" I think it was when I actually, well, the way sometimes I say it, like, for fuck's sake. So I sort of drag out.
We've just heard that rendition for a few times there, actually.
Yeah. Oh well. I guess that's my thing. I say for fuck's sake quite weird. But there was that, and just all some of the things that we'd missed. I mean, I was quite surprised as well about one of the pictures from Elsa's.
I want to try and find this now.
Page was how many people had actually survived the night. There was only about 5 of them.
Yeah, well, those are the ones that actually went out and done the whole getting drunk thing. Well, extremely drunk thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's your answer.
Yeah, I believe they went to the garage.
Yeah. Oh, so
It's the only place it would let them in, though.
I mean, I would have done that if I had stayed out later, but obviously I couldn't because I had to go back to the hotel. I needed to know where I was going, which was
it's
a
not
fucking
really
trek in itself.
It's easy to walk around Glasgow.
No, I don't mean No, I don't mean the journey. I mean, literally, I come out of that club. I come out of Revolution, and I knew that it was downhill from where we were. So I went downhill, and I was just going round. It took me... Well, it didn't take me that long. It took me about 25 minutes once I come out of the club to find it. But I literally didn't know where I was going. I was going through all these little back passageways and things like that.
I told you not to do that. I told you Glasgow's just it's a massive grid
a big
on
square.
some hills. Don't go down the side streets.
You see what happened? What I did, I was ending up on all these side streets, and eventually I was like, right, I need to find my way to that little market square, because once I'm there, I know where I'm at. But, so I went down this street, I didn't have any clue where it was, and I come up, and I found myself outside that pub where James, you climbed up on the window, and jumped at us all.
Yeah.
I found my way there, I was like, right, I know where I'm at now. So I went up from there, I turned left, and sure enough, I got into that little market, and it says, right, if I carry on here and I find the big green fucking sign, I'll know where I'm going. And sure enough, I found the big green sign, so if I just turn left and go up and down the hill, I come right at the front door of the Premier Inn. So, and sure enough,
for future reference, you just have to remember a massive green sign.
Yep, I said that in the thread. It says, as long as I know where that fucking big green sign is, I'm sorted. For the Premier Inn and the Glasgow Central, I know where the train station's at, because that was literally just 2 minutes.
Really easy
from there. So it's like as long as I know where the fuck I'm at there, I'm sorted. And I mean, I suppose now, having been there and like having you show me at the Premier Inn and having Elsa in here and show me the Gate Retreat and that, I could probably find my way around.
Sounds like a challenge. Sounds like we should get you to leave Central and just send you off with some form of camera to record you and see if you can work out where you are.
No, I could probably...
there are 6 of us in the group.
No.
Liam, you're one. So the 5 of us will all...
And he has to try and form the full team.
Don't say that.
And when he gets in the train, he has to find everyone.
Ew.
This actually sounds
I
like
like
it would make
that.
an absolutely
Yeah.
cracking
No, that'd be a good RT life. Me trying to wander around fucking Glasgow. I say I know my way between the train station, Geeker Trade, my hotel, and that big green sign. From there, I know where I'm at.
Geeker Retreat's under the train station. It's not difficult.
Yeah, I know
You
exactly.
just need to look for a bathroom that's just so spacious.
So
Right,
spacious.
well, on an incredibly unrelated topic, I saw something on my walk back from university today to my flat that I didn't even know existed. Do you know there's such a, like, you know how you get your fire, well, I'm going to say American here, you get like fire trucks and police cars and things.
Fire engines,
Yes. I saw a fire boat.
Fireman, son.
fireboat.
Fire
Yes.
boat. Well, yeah. I mean, I've seen something like that, but that's because we're like based near a coast.
Yeah, I
guard
was going to
sort
say, I
of
don't
thing,
imagine
so-
many things that would necessitate a fire boat in Glasgow.
Well,
I
but-
watch where there's just the Clyde. It's just a line.
What about boats on fire?
But the Clyde really isn't that wide.
It is.
Actually, here's a question because it came up in my flat. How wide is the Clyde?
Where?
That is a very valid point, actually.
I
Right,
know.
well, let's see. Round about the city centre point then, because that's the bit I can actually see right now.
So, say for example, how wide at Central, where the train lines are.
Aye, that sounds about right. Can see if you know this off the top of your head or not. In fact, we should.
I'd say it's roughly about 100 yards.
See, that's not too bad. You'd be able to put out any fires that could somehow occur from there without the need of a fire boat.
Yeah, I could jump that easy.
Oh, that was it. I will say this: when I was wandering about Glasgow, I did find myself next to the river at one point.
Well,
Because I was trying to go right downhill. Because I actually thought that the Pembrine was literally in front of the water. For some reason, I don't know why I thought that. I know for a fact it wasn't, because I know there's buildings behind it. I haven't looked on Google Maps, but at the time I thought, right, if I can get to the water, I know where I'm going.
You know the red light district's down by the water, yeah?
the red light district of
Oh.
Glasgow.
Is that why you were down at the water?
Maybe.
I also remember something else.
You just
The other day, I went in the St Enoch Centre, just cutting through. For some reason, there was a Wookiee and 2 stormtroopers just standing around, acting as if it's perfectly
Right.
normal. I really do not know an explanation for why there might have been a Wookiee and some stormtroopers.
was there any Star Wars auditions?
No, because I'm actually thinking of these open editions, of just going to them.
Clearly they were looking for droids.
But those weren't the choice they were looking for.
I let you have that one there. I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah. No, but I've noticed that on the website that I've noticed journals just just from like the Everyone tab when I saw them pop up now and again. When people are saying, "Oh, there's open auditions in my area." I'm thinking about going. Should I
Yeah.
do it? Blah blah blah.
Well, always go. Like, wouldn't you, if you had even the slightest chance to audition to have a role in the new Star Wars film? You would go, wouldn't you?
Wait, probably
No.
yeah, just for a laugh. I'd probably go for a laugh, but I would say I'm just gonna go for a laugh. When I get there, I'll be shitting bricks, thinking I need to do this. I need to be serious. I could be the next Luke Skywalker or Han Solo. But yeah, I'd probably go. But then again, if I saw J.J. Abrams, I'd just say fuck off, lens flare.
You would just refer to him as lens flare, nothing else.
Yeah.
Right, well, for example, I've just pulled up the page for the auditions, right?
All right.
I wouldn't go, and this is why.
Why not?
The parts are for a street-smart girl in her late teens and a smart, capable man in his late teens or early 20s, according to the casting call.
That just describes me perfectly. I'm off. See you.
I could pull off either of those roles. Give me long hair and shave me beard.
See, I can pull off neither.
Well, be a bit unfortunate for you then.
Mind it, just because we're on the topic of movies,
Yeah.
what did you think about all that backlash about fucking Ben Affleck being Batman? I mean,
You don't know how
I
it's
mean
going to go.
I'll admit. I mean, I think I talked with Michael about it on Saturday. It was fair enough. It's Ben Affleck. He's a cunt.
You say that as if you know the guy personally.
But he was the bomb in Phantoms.
Yeah. Yeah, but no. But this is what I'm saying. In his younger days, like Daredevil, and that's
Daredevil
shite.
was a bad film. I'll back that one up.
It was Daredevil.
Armageddon.
Was a shite film.
It was amazing in
Not just because
Armageddon.
Exactly. What I'm saying is, in certain films, given the right type role, is good. I mean, like The Town.
Yep.
Or Argo.
Yep.
Things like that. He's good at. These like serious sort of roles. Give him like I say, Daredevil, which was a shit script and just shit overall.
Yeah.
Which it was shite, and people.
Unfortunately,
blamed
it shouldn't have been because Daredevil as a character is brilliant. Because it's one of the strong Marvel characters.
Yeah, but to be fair, Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool in the X-Men Origins Wolverine.
No,
and that was
that didn't exist. That Deadpool doesn't even exist in my mindset.
Ryan Reynolds plays Deadpool in every film he's ever in. He doesn't play any sort of different role. He's always that cocky guy. He's never. When have you ever seen him do anything serious or wit? Every character he plays has to have some sort of wit about
Thing
him.
is, going off that though.
Well, the only one I think there's only two films that I know. Because I mean, my brother has got like a big man crush on Ryan Reynolds. He's had one on him since he did a program years ago called Two Guys and a Girl in a Pizza Place.
All right.
And that used to be on a channel on.
Is the rage just
anyway.
blinded you here?
I'm too old for that.
Yeah,
I missed that.
But he was on that, and he played the same character, a cocky guy who's supposed to get all the girls. And then he basically did all that. He did Van Wilder, admittedly. I love that film,
did, yeah.
Van Wilder. And he did all them sorts of films, all them comedies sort of things. And he's always the same role. I think there's only two films I've ever seen him in where he was serious. One was The Amityville Horror.
I found
Right.
that was quite funny at times.
That was a shit. It was just a shit film in general. And he did. Is it Buried? He did Buried, where he was locked in the coffin
Yeah.
underground. That was another one where he was serious. And when he does them sorts of roles, Ryan Reynolds is good. That's where you think, oh yeah, he's got some sort of range. But then he does films like that, and he goes.
No wait,
does
was Ryan Reynolds not? Was he not the Green Lantern film that utterly tanked as well?
Yes.
That was
exactly.
Shite.
That's what I'm saying. It utterly tanked, and Green Lantern's one of my favourite sort of hero characters.
That's not. But this is what going back to people think he's going to be a great Deadpool. Well, fair if he might be a great Deadpool. So people are saying, oh, he's the only person who could play it.
No, that's not correct.
No, I don't think so. And this is going back to people saying, oh, well, they should have got Josh Brolin to play Batman. Which, admittedly, I could see that. I could see Josh Brolin be Batman. I could see
Here's
John
the thing,
Hamm.
though.
Josh Brolin's got a massive head and tiny little short arms.
He's a T-Rex.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Right. So I was going to say, just to sort of close off on the Batfleck topic, as it were, there's all the outcry over that. There's also a similar outcry to Heath Ledger being the Joker.
And look how good
that's
that
going
was.
down as one of the best modern roles in film of recent history.
And then,
yeah, but you have to
have
to add that Jonathan Nolan or Christopher Nolan and Jonathan Nolan are not writing the new Batman film.
No.
That is a good point.
I mean, you always get that argument in regards to Heath Ledger that would people think his performance was as good if he hadn't died? Well,
No.
admittedly, some people will say, "Oh, well, yeah." I think it was just a good. I think it was just a good performance.
I was going to say the thing was, if he hadn't died, the character would have came back for Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, you got.
Without a doubt, the character would have been in the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I think initially there was a lot of, oh, this is a great performance. This is amazing. You know, he should win an Oscar for this. Basically, because he was dead. Because like cunts like us, cunts like us, as opposed to just cunts like us.
Yeah.
We're fine, but as soon as you die, you're some kind of saint.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, in some ways, okay.
Some people get that.
But then again, I look at that and I think, well, I'm an arsehole, so I'm invincible. I'm going to live forever.
I mean, you got to look at. I mean that, and then there was always that thing where after he died, and people think, oh well. I think there was at the time when they think, oh, they just use archive footage of him for like an Arkham Asylum scene or something like that.
Did they?
And then there was another one where they said it was when Joseph Gordon-Levitt was cast. And they said
that side didn't sound good.
They said, oh, he's got a sort of similar facial features to Heath Ledger. Oh, he's going to be the next Joker. Then he comes out, he's going to be John Blake, and then at the end of the film, he's fucking Robin.
Well, see,
I'll be honest. I'd be quite happy if Joseph Gordon-Levitt had actually died from that cancer.
Well, that's an extreme view right there.
Wow.
Oh. I was
really?
I'm wanting to try and move on from that there, but at the same time, I think we might need some explanation.
What the
Please
hell?
expand.
Well, he plays this cancer diagnosed guy in 50/50.
And that's it.
So it's I wish that had been real life and he had died.
What's your vendetta against Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
He's
What's
just
the guy do to you?
he's just shit. I just can't
No
sta-
other explanation. You just hate the
While
man.
while we were going through this, like I had Ryan Reynolds' IMDb page up, like not to turn into a Jack Patillo, but I had it up just for reference. And you look at Joseph Gordon-Levitt's face in the picture, and you wouldn't tire a punch in that.
No, I will admit that there are those people that you just want to punch in the face.
Yeah.
I'll give
Speaking
you
of
that.
people to punch in the face, have you seen?
Like Gus Sorolla.
No, I was going to go. Have you seen a story that came out today of the former lead singer of the Lost Prophets?
Don't bring that up because that's probably a heavy
Yeah,
topic.
I shall just reference the
He's a-
fact that I can't listen to that band
he's
anymore.
He's a cunt and he needs shot.
That is someone that you would also want to punch in the face.
Punch in the face, I would shoot him repeatedly in the face with a shotgun.
That's all we
my
really
opinion
need
on
for
that.
it.
That's all we need for that.
Right.
Cunt.
Yeah. So I think on such cheery topics, should we consider wrapping up episode 1 here?
Well, we have a game to play.
Oh, so we do. I'd almost forgot about that. We shall play our game to close off our first episode then.
This in order, in bookending our great introduction by Gary at the start of the podcast, we now have possibly the worst introduction that has ever existed in podcast.
Oh wait, are we using this
segment.
jingle? Are we using it?
No, we're not going to use. We're actually going to create it.
Oh,
we have to sing
Well,
it.
I'm not even prepared
No,
for this.
obviously not you, Liam.
So I think you're going to have to go for a solo performance for this one.
Really?
Yeah, because I have no idea what you're aiming at, so I'm going to have to
Well,
let you...
the lyrics are in the thread for the podcast.
Really, you're going to have me try and look through that.
Just
Just go ahead.
Okay,
Just go ahead.
I'll drop it in the call.
Ah, that was me trying to skillfully deflect my way around the topic.
Yeah, you're not getting away with anything.
Do we have a tune?
It's a cappella.
Ah, cool. So I could go full on operatic with this if I felt like it.
Yeah, whatever you like,
1.5, that's what I want.
bearing in mind I'm going to cut it and use it every week.
Oh, gee, no, come on. Surely we need to get the other people in for the cut version.
Well, yeah, but they won't be available for like the next episode, so this is going to be used this week and
The next time
whatever
as
the
well.
next week is going to be. Yeah.
Right. All right. So we'll get going with this. Liam, are you prepared from the one idea that you actually came up with as well?
No.
He sounds confident. He sounds confident.
Well, this is a hilarious and in some ways very very cerebral section of the podcast. We're inspired by the game Gavin or Google from the RT podcast. So we have Scottish or shite.
Okay.
I just named it. I will say that. I just named it. I'm not really a fan of it.
Well, it's your creation. You're going to have to stick with it. Right. You ready?
So
He's an English lad, so we'll have to think. It's time to ask Liam about Scottish things.
I'm feeling lucky.
I'll stand by it for now until I hear it back.
Yeah, it'll work till we record something better.
Oh yeah, totally. Right, so take it
So-
away.
Liam, there are 5 rounds. It won't take long, so
Looking out.
it's not going to worry. Basically, we have a Scottish word, whether it be through slang or through a new thing that's come into the Scots language, and 2 possible definitions. So you have to guess which one is true.
Oh, so it's multiple choice. Oh, well, I feel better about
you've
that.
got 2 options. You either have to say if the thing is a Scottish thing, or aye.
Or shade.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And and then we'll maybe explain it, or you might have to guess that
Yeah.
as well.
So since James has prepared this, I'll let you go ahead here. Start off the game.
Thanks. The first one is Stramash. That's Stramash. Stramash.
I'm going to say that's Scottish.
Have you any idea what that might mean?
Not a fucking clue. Mashed teddy.
No. A stramash would also be a brawl or a fight.
Yes.
So mashed teddy then.
Often used in games of football or something like that to designate a goal-mouthed scramble. Is probably the most popular use. A goal-mouth, a stramash.
Right. So actually, here I'll keep score here. So would you say that's? He's got a point then.
He's got a point, yeah.
Cool.
I'll give him a point for that.
Right. Option 2.
The next one is Quam. Kwam.
Quam.
Oh, he's thinking.
I'll say that's Scottish.
No, that is shite.
It's just a
Okay.
general term.
That's
isn't
just
it?
I made that up.
No.
Yeah. That's. I have no idea. I just put in a fake word and I thought he'll fall for that.
Hey.
Hey. So he's one for two.
Yeah.
The third one is Shuggle, which is Shoogle. Shuggle.
Fuck it, I'll say it's
You'll be
Scottish.
correct. Any clue of the definition?
Not a fucking
Do you want to
clue.
take a guess so you're not just saying no clue?
Cuddle.
Be a bit of an aggressive cuddle, I
Snuggle
think, a
cuddle.
shuggle.
A wee bit. Shuggle is defined as to shake or to sway, as in, you son, your coat's on a sugary peg.
So it's a cuddle. It's just a shaky cuddle.
Yeah, well, it's like a cuddle you would give a newborn baby.
Exactly.
Oh. Right, round 4.
Round 4 indeed.
Oh, do you know what you're saying here?
No, I have no idea. I'm making this up as I go along.
Cool.
No, I have plenty of Scottish words, but it's difficult to come up with something that's not Scottish.
Well, I think you've just
Because
given
I
a
have
clue
no-
as to what this one is.
I have no idea what it's supposed to be.
Ah,
Oh, well, to be fair, I also had a list of Scottish words and then like 2 possible definitions.
all right. Right,
Would
anyway.
it be, well, what
we
does
need
this
to
mean?
come
Does
up
it mean
with-
this, or does it mean
Let's
this?
come up with asking him something here. We'll make that round 5. He has to get the definition of something.
Yeah, that'll be the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Right, you're literally, you have no idea what you're saying here, do you?
No, not really, no.
Right, we'll just go to the
make it
tiebreaker.
up.
This is going to be a 4 round, because it'll guess.
Oh, I'm going to cut all this shit out. It's alright.
Ah, cool.
Right. A brasser.
Brasser.
Brasser. Brasser.
A bra.
No, what is it? Scottish or
So
something?
Scottish.
You think Scottish?
Scottish for bra.
Well, thankfully Google comes through because it says that's Irish.
Oh,
Oh,
there
well.
you go.
So you lose that one in a technicality,
So-
which is nice because it means you've got 2 right and 2 wrong. So we can go on to the tiebreaker. Hey.
Right then, tiebreaker time.
So the tiebreaker is the word dreich, which is D-R-E-I-C-H. Dreich. Does that mean trousers, as in a pair of dreichs, or dreary, as in guy, it's dreich outside?
I'm gonna say it's the second one where it's like cold outside, whatever you said. The second one, Scottish.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, you've won the first game.
Yes.
Despite his initial trepidation, Liam comes through. It means dreary or uninspiring, boring.
So that's a perfect note to end that game on, is it?
Yeah, so that's probably what. That's where define this podcast, Drake.
I promise I'll come up with better examples next
Yeah.
week.
Check the
Please
Skype
don't.
text, by the way. might help you out there.
Can we not make this like what? Can we not make this like a one of a kind? Like one. Do this on episode 1, episode 10.
Stop trying to get yourself
100,
out of it.
episode
You created
1000.
this. We'll stick with it until we literally run out of words.
Oh.
Yes, it was your fault for coming up with it and then instantly trying to hate it.
And, yeah, until it basically becomes too hard for me to come up with examples.
Well, if this round's anything to go by, it shouldn't be too.
Oh no,
long.
just you wait. I have found some more words. I'm preparing this now as well.
Oh, bollocks!
Either that or we will just change the
format slightly.
change the format and say, what does it mean?
Oh, fuck's sake!
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Feel free to come up with any Cumbrian slang and just drop it in the podcast. It'll be fine.
Oh, I wouldn't, because it sounds Welsh. Anything Cumbrian, like proper Cumbrian, sounds Welsh.
Well, we'll end up coming up with some Welsh thing. We'll find a Welsh guy
No, I find a Welsh guy.
and get him in to ask you things.
Oh no! You're just trying to torture me now because I'm foreign.
You say you're foreign as if it's such a far distance away. You're not.
I'm 2 hours away on the train. Maybe not for long. Maybe not for long if this Scotland independence thing comes.
Would that instantly nullify all train lines between the countries? Well,
No.
there you go.
No. I'm just saying.
Anyway, I don't think now is not the time to get into a independence referendum debate.
Get into politics. Get into politics.
Yeah, we'll save that for serious podcasts.
Serious sort of people do you think we are?
When are we ever gonna?
No, not our podcast,
Ah.
like other people's podcasts that may happen to be serious.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now.
NPR or BBC or some shit.
I wish we'll never get serious until. Mind you, you're saying that. I mean, the Rooster Teeth podcast never gets serious. I think the most serious I ever saw one was. Do you remember after the Boston bombings when Bernie did this speech? It was just a short little monologue, and I remember all the comments in that saying Bernie should be president.
Well, wouldn't you want that
I
man
remember,
running a country?
Oh yeah, I've read my
So long as it's not ours.
As long as we can watch whatever happens to this other country, it's fine.
Pretty much. I can't say much for his economic prowess.
Well, that's why Joel's
You'd
there.
have to have Joel
Well, you
as
could
his
say, I mean,
chancellor.
Yeah.
No, you're saying that. I mean, the company's been running for 10 years now, and we don't hear about them hemorrhaging money or anything like that. So he must be doing something right.
Yeah, well, that's.
Either that or Matt's doing it all because he's CEO. Isn't he?
I would like to think that's down to the graciousness of the community,
Yeah.
as well as some excellent
You're
sponsors.
keeping things modest there.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
if anyone would like to sponsor this podcast,
Give us money.
please get in touch. Then we can all afford Skype Premium.
Yes, exactly. Then we could have video chats.
And I can afford more beer.
Wait, have you been drinking during this?
Yes.
There we go.
Well, that explains something.
It explains some of it. The rest of it, we'll have to delve into that mystery some other time.
Oh my god, am I actually Gavin?
No?
No.
I think I'm the Gavin of this podcast now.
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, and on that note, I think that's going to wrap us up then.
Yeah, this will be the point in the future podcast where we'll take questions from the listeners.
Will we?
If you'd like to submit them to the podcast group, which is now available on the Rooster Teeth Achievement Hunter website. You can search for Titleless Podcast.
Yes, exactly. Oh, actually, shall the group be linked with the associated podcast wherever it goes? Sure, that's a good thing. Where shall people find this podcast?
Well,
Pornhub.
Why am I saying that in the podcast? Oh,
you'll find it here.
Sorry, we'll edit this.
You're listening
We'll
to
edit
it.
this bit out.
You have already achieved that greatness.
exactly. I hadn't even thought of that there.
I have absolutely no fucking clue.
Wait,
I know one place it will be available.
I think I could take a guess at that as well.
Pornhub. X videos.
Oh, I was going to say RedTube, but fair enough.
Oh, that'll be fine. Right. So anyway, this has been edition 1 of the Titleless podcast, the origin story.
Stay tuned for Electric Boogaloo
Next week. Only at where you're hearing this.
Stay tuned to the Titleless podcast group where you'll find details of the next episode. Thanks for listening. 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 Thanks for listening.